Hey everybody, Matt Deutschman here. I wanted to record a video today to talk about something that I think is a common debate in Little League circles. And what we're going to talk about is the elbow up or elbow down, okay? And that's the back elbow in a batting stance. And I just got finished coaching my son's T-ball team. And this was something that I just happened to notice a lot of conversation around. So I wanted to talk about it from kind of a perspective where we take both sides into account. A lot of time you'll hear parents shouting from the sideline at a baseball game on a Little League field, "Hey Jimmy, get your elbow up, get your elbow up." And I want to talk about where that comes from, what the benefits of having elbow up are, but also what some potential pitfalls with how we message it to kids could be. Okay, so first let's talk about swing mechanics. All right, when you're in your batting stance here, in order to get the most power, and I've done some research on other coaches and former professional baseball players who have actually recorded some coaching videos on this topic. And the reason for having an elbow up is that when you're in your swing, you're using your leverage off of the ground by taking a stride and then using your lower body to kind of, it's called loading up, and that's where you get your upper body back into like a coiled position, and then you can get as much power as possible coming through your swing. Okay, so it really starts with your lower body and your hip movement, but it's how you use your hips to lead your upper body through your swing. In order to do that, in order to be able to get as much backward rotation as possible, you have to have your elbow up, because if your elbow's down, you can't really go anywhere. If your elbow's up, that's where you're able to really get back. Okay, so that's where this elbow up concept comes from, is that if you have your elbow up, then you're able to rotate backward and then have a powerful swing going forward. The problem is that when you just shout elbow up to a kid who doesn't really understand those in-depth swing mechanics, what they're thinking is, okay, I got to get my elbow up. And then they just do one of these. They've got their back elbow way up, and there's no corresponding load up. They're not using their elbow to get more power. They're just standing there in their batting stance with their elbow up, and then they're still having the same swing, and it's really awkward. It's impossible to really swing like this to go straight to the ball. So what you find a lot of the time as a result of that is you got your elbow up. In order to get your bat to the ball, they have to now drop their elbow to get the bat to the zone. So you wind up with one of two things, and sometimes both. You wind up with a much longer swing because you have to drop your elbow and then come down to the ball, rather than just going straight to it. Okay, or you wind up with an uppercut. That if you drop your elbow, you're also dropping your back shoulder, and then you've got this uppercut, and you're coming up to the ball and popping things up. Okay, so what we want to avoid is just shouting elbow up without any context to the kid. And I would say that at the T-ball level, it's probably a little bit too early to really be coaching them about having their elbow up for a load position. Okay, that's going to come a little bit later. At the T-ball level especially, we really want to just focus on good mechanics, good fundamentals, so that they're prepared to start facing live pitching, whether from a coach or from kid pitch at the next level. Okay, so what I advocate is just having the kids start with their bat down and then just pick it up. Just pick it up to a normal, comfortable position. Okay, if you ask a kid to just pick up their bat like this, they're not going to go like this, and they're not going to go like this, and they're not going to go like this. They're going to come straight like this. So that's where we want it. We want the hands aligned with the shoulder, and we just want our elbow kind of relaxed, just comfortable where we pick it up. And then from there, at least we can develop the idea of a good direct swing straight at the ball. And then maybe as the season progresses, you can help them get their hands back. That's the key. Having the elbow up helps you get your hands back. The farther back you can get your hands without taking your head out of the picture, the more coil and the more torque and power you can get on the swing. So that's ultimately what we want to work toward. But it really starts from just having your hands up here and having your elbow in a relaxed position, and then start to get those hands back. Then eventually, when the kids develop those fundamentals at having a short, compact, direct, level swing straight at the ball and getting their lower body moving first, that's when we can talk about getting the elbow up so that they can really come into this coil position. If you watch Major League ball players, a lot of them will have batting stances where they've got their elbow high like this, and they have their bat actually tilted where, if the pitcher is this way, the bat's actually tilted toward the pitcher. That's something we, at that level, guys have worked on it for years, and that's what they have developed as their swing. But we don't want to teach 6-year-old kids to start getting into those kinds of habits, because that could just cause a lot of things to go wrong. And again, we don't want to cause them to get that elbow up and then cause them to have to drop to get the ball, to get the bat back in the zone. Okay, so that's my take on elbow up. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think elbow up is a bad thing, but I think it can be dangerous and problematic, and it can develop bad habits to just focus on elbow up without understanding the real context around it. So just a quick recap. Eventually we want the elbow ups to coil and have a powerful swing at the T-ball level, and even at the young baseball level, where it's coach pitch and maybe the early stages of kid pitch. We just want to have the kids come where it's comfortable, hands aligned with their shoulder, but not on the shoulder. We want their hands off the shoulder a little bit like that. And we want the elbow just in a relaxed position where it would normally be if they're just holding the bat. And then we can work toward having the hands back. And once they're really good at having hands back and timing it with the pitching, that's when we can talk about elbow up, so that you can get your hands back even farther. But it really comes back to the swing mechanics in the first place. So I hope you enjoyed this. We'll do some more baseball related videos for things that I think could be helpful. And I hope you get something out of it, and it's something that you find is a good resource for working with your kids. Enjoy.